sense. Remember, they rented out their own house.
Yeah.
Imagine you're living in Tulsa right now, and you're living in a house, and to make ends meet, you go ahead and rent out your own house, and then you're living in a closet. I mean, to what end? Ridiculous. Well, I guess they have good credit, you know.
I'm like, don't fart. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
Unbelievable.
And was it two of them in one closet? I want to know so many details.
There's so many details there. So they get the $20,000 of funding. And when we get back, Thrivers, we're going to explain to you what they spent the $20,000 on. And then we're going to get into Brett Denton. We're going to pick his brain and ask him during that time in his business where he thought, should I sell these Obama O's or should I just fold up the tent? Should I repackage this cereal or should I just end it all? I mean, is it worth it? Is it really worth it? Because every entrepreneur has hit that part of their career at some point. Thrive Time Show. You want to listen to your Thrive Time Show during your drive time home.
You're listening to the Thrive Time Show on Talk Radio 1170.
All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back to the Inspiration Station. It's the Thrive Time Show during your drive time home. And yes, this is the business school without the BS experience that you've been looking for. You see, you've been working hard all day. A lot of you have been working for the man. You've been working for the man. In fact, according to Forbes, 57% of you want to start a business, all right? And then a lot of you are the man. You're like, I am the man. I'm the man. There's nobody more the man than me, but holy crap, I work all the time, and my business owns me. I don't even own my own business. What's going on? So what happens here is we are going to teach you how to start and grow a successful business, but specifically today, we are talking about the Airbnb story. Airbnb. Shark, have you ever stayed in an Airbnb?
Yes, I have.
Explain it to the people listening, just kind of a quick kind of layman's term. Kind of what is Airbnb?
Sure. So you go online, it's Air Bed and Breakfast, and you can rent a room in someone's house. You can rent out an entire house. Some people, you can rent out a floor, a loft. You can rent anything that you can imagine.
And we have got Brett Denton in the house. He flew in all the way from Boise, Idaho. He's a thriver. He's got a very successful business. He's a very successful entrepreneur growing his business. Brett Denton, he does performance coaching. So what he did is he started a business that teaches people how to get in physical shape, right? And it did very, very well, called Cavell Fitness. But then over time, he was like, hey, a lot of my clients are going, hey, could you help me with performance coaching, like how to optimize my schedule, how to better manage my time, how to be more focused at work, boom, boom, boom. So we started working with him in that capacity. He flew all the way in, and he chose to stay in an Airbnb. How perfect, Brett.
Yeah, I know, right? Perfect.
Brett, are you like a paid endorser for Airbnb? You trying to?
I wish. Yeah, I wish.
Okay, so
And we didn't plan that either.
You didn't. That's just
We
real
did
talk.
not plan it. It just happened. Yeah.
Real talk. You're on Facebook Live. That's a real man. Not a hologram. It's not some old school Tupac concert with a hologram. No, this is a Michael Jackson hologram. It's real. This is a real show. Okay, but seriously, if you're on Facebook Live, you're in for a visual, dojo of mojo. When you just look at this man, it's just so beautiful. But here's the thing: is 2007, the Airbnb guys they get this concept. They say, hey, Joe. There's two guys. One guy's name is Joe. He says, Joe, hey, Joe, here's the deal. We can't pay rent, And he says, okay, well, why don't we just rent out a room? Why don't we just rent out a room in our house? They go, we only have a room. Okay, well, let's rent out the whole apartment then. So they rent out the apartment to two dudes and one lady for $80 a piece. Next thing you know, they go, this could be a thing.
Yeah.
So they call their former roommate, Nathan. They said, Nathan, can you build us a website? He builds a website. They spend all their money. They go to South by Southwest. At the conference, they try to sell it. It sells so well, they doubled their sales almost. They sold 2 reservations, kind of a sad time. Then they said, I'm out of money, so now let's start selling Obama O's. Obama O's, what are those? They took Cheerios, old school generic Cheerios, take them out of the generic bag, put them into a box they created. They're funding their business. For those of you who are political, I thought, wasn't McCain running at the time too? Yes, they made McCain, was it with Captain McCain's?
Captain McCain's.
And they took all the money they raised by repackaging cereal. Now somebody's listening. This is the thing. Some people are listening and you're not listening. You're listening, but it's not. It's like a BB. I'm shooting a BB at a battleship, but it's like bing, because they're going bing, and that's how they're taking in the knowledge. Bing. They're going, but did they have a business permit? No. Bing. Did they have an LLC? No. Bing. So how did they get their employees? Were they following the Fair Labor Act? Bing! No! These are dudes living in a closet. Someone says, well, that's not ethical. Okay, so Steve Jobs, where did he start his business? I'm going to go on a brief rant because I want to help you. I want to get down to your deep core. Then I'm going to pitch it over to my good friend Brett Denton because some of y'all, we're in Oklahoma, some of y'all need to hear this. Some of you just need to get Real. So I'm going to give you some real talk, and I hope this can just sink into your head. Here we go. Google started in a garage.
Mm-hmm.
Did they have a permit? No, it's in a garage. Larry Page, Sergey Brin, they're graduates of Stanford. They rented it out at a garage with their friend Susan. Susan? Was she a big corporation? No. We move on. Apple started in a garage. Steve Jobs is not wearing shoes, right? But Ron Wayne and Steve Wozniak, they're showing up. They're going, your feet smell weird. They have a bing. Do they have a permit? Bing. Do they have an LLC? Bing. Do they have a permit? Bing. Do they go to a local small business conference and get all their papers together to minimize their risk? No. These are real entrepreneurs. Amazon started in the garage. He runs out of money. He says, Mom and Dad, Jeff Bezos, he says, so I'm out of money. But I wanted to see if you guys would be willing to give me all of your money. They gave him all $300,000 of the retirement to fund the business in the garage. In Walt and Roy Disney, Walt had gone into bankruptcy. They started yet again in the garage. All I'm saying is if you have a garage, you can start a successful business. Mm-hmm. You don't have a garage. You have a closet. These homies were starting in a closet.
Yeah.
Brett, did you ever get to a point in your career where you were going, I'm in the garage. I'm like in the mental closet. I am basically ready to just mail it in. When did you get to that? I mean, have you ever got to that point when you were starting your successful company where you go, I don't know if it's worth it?
Yeah, I think I've been there several times, every other week for a while there. But the main time, I was over $100,000 in debt.
Oh, boy.
I wouldn't tell my parents what I was doing because I didn't want them to add any negativity to my already negative situation.
Brett, are you selling drugs? Brett, are you?
He's like, I'm making Obama O's, Mom.
Yeah.
So, I started, moved in with my sister. Car got repoed, as I talked about a little bit earlier. And, I had probably about 20 clients. The only problem is those 20 clients were all free.
Oh, yeah. You get the big tribe of free people?
Yeah, I had the whole tribe of free people.
So these ripped people that weren't paying.
Yeah.
Bro, my six-pack abs are sick, bro.
Bob.
No money, though, bro.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I reached, the turning point of I either need to do this or I need to get a job. Right.
And I will say, what is the benefit of owning your own business instead of just having a Jobby McJobberson?
For me, it was control to do what I wanted to do, to build something that I wanted to build, and to not have a boss, quite frankly.
And I'm going to tell you, some of you are listening right now, and you've got remember back in the day that sweet old man, Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Yes.
How did he talk? Wasn't he always like, Luke? He's kind of a European, almost like, Luke.
Yeah, he was.
Come join me, Luke, let's go.
He was a European on Tatooine.
Yeah, and he says, Luke, so what we're going to do, Luke, is we're going to join, I got this lightsaber. Look at the lightsaber. I'm just going to show it to you. And Luke, look at the lightsaber. And then meanwhile, he's on the other shoulder.
Yeah.
Start a business. Join the dark side. You don't know the power of the dark side.
And then, Darth, if you strike me down, I'll become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
He's so good.
And so what happens is that you right now, listening right now, 57% of you, and you go, why did you choose the dark side to be the good side? Because I'm a sick freak. I don't know. But the point is, 57% of you want to start a business, and you're listening to that inner ear going,
You don't know the power of the dark side.
And the thing is, it could be very scary. It could be very scary to be in that middle, because in the middle, it's kind of like, I'm starting a business, maybe I'm not, I don't know what to do. So here's the thing, I'm just going to tell you, a little encouragement for you, is everybody has to start at the bottom. So what did these guys do? They made $30,000 selling Obama O's. They get the attention of Paul Graham. Paul Graham's one of the most successful incubators, business coaches on the planet. And he goes, guys, you're like cockroaches. You won't go away. He says, you guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Let's do this. So he invests $20,000 in these guys, $20,000. And Sharita, if you had $20,000 from Paul Graham, what do you think they did with their $20,000?
Well, I would think that they would invest it in their business and try to keep moving forward with that.
Well, this is what Paul Graham said to him. He says, remember, Paul Graham says, This is Brian Chesky explaining what Paul said. Paul said, the first thing Paul told us was it's better to have 100 people that love you than 1 million people that just sort of like you. Find 100 people that love you. So Brian took this to be literal. He's going, hey, Paul Graham has said, like, we got to get 100 people to like us, bro. So we got to, like, go meet them. And he's going, and their partner's going, we built a website. The idea is that we don't have to physically meet them so they can book online.
Right.
No exaggeration, Thrivers. They spent all $20,000 on airplane tickets.
Wow.
And they flew to meet the 6 people who had booked a room.
Yeah.
And they're like, how'd you hear about us? It's a Garth meeting you. You know, hey, so how you guys doing? Kind of good to meet you. We flew all the way from San Francisco. And they're going, you flew all the way from San Francisco to meet us? You sick freak? Yeah, I want to know, what'd you like about the website, you know? And over time, they found people said, it was really hard to use, and your photos were weird.
Wow.
And they're going, what? We were coding all night. It was just, we were working so hard. And so they were making $200 a week at this point. 3 dudes, $200 a week. But the people started saying, hey, your photos aren't very good. So they started going, note to self, it appears as though the photos are not good. Stat, check. All right, next person, photos aren't very good. Check. Photos aren't very good. Check. I know what we should do, Nathan, web developer. Why don't we make the photos look good? Oh, bro. Why don't we stick together in the closet tonight and snuggle and think about it, bro? This could be our thing. Yeah, let's snuggle. We've only been starting this business for 1.5 years together, bro. I'm sure we're going to make it. This is awesome, dude. Dude, I can smell your feet. Airbnb's going to rock.
Broadcasting from the center of the universe, featuring optometrist turned entrepreneur Dr. Robert Zellner and U.S. SBA Entrepreneur of the Year, Clay Clark. This is the Thrive Time Show on Talk Radio 1170.
All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back to the Thrive Time Show during your drive time home. It's business school without the BS. And many of you have started to say, what is this show? Where are you from? What are you talking about? I thought this was a political station. Let me explain this to you. We have some great political shows during the day. You want to talk about constitutional law. You want to talk about who's elected, who's not elected, the future of the country, all the very important things. We have a lot of great programming. But if you want to talk about the future of your wallet, hey, you want to talk about the future of your wallet, you want to talk about the future of your monetary system, not the International Monetary Fund, but your own monetary fund. You want to talk about growing your business. You want to talk about creating time freedom, personal freedom, wealth. Boom. We talk about it here. It's a Thrive Time Show. It's business school without the BS. My name is Clay Clark. I'm the former SBA Entrepreneur of the Year, and I am also a recovering. I'm just working through a lot of therapy, trying to take baby steps. Recovering disc jockey. I started DJ Connection back in the day. Today I'm a partner with Elephant in the Room, Men's Grooming Lounge. A lot of other businesses. Partnered up with Dr. Zellner to start an online school called Thrive15.com. It's an honor to be here with you today. And today we are talking about a subject that is so exciting. It is the history, the timeline of Airbnb. How 3 dudes went from renting air mattresses to becoming a $1 billion business. And as always, I'm joined here with an assortment of awesome people. Typically, it's Dr. Zellner, but he's out expanding his entrepreneurial empire today. So we brought in not a substitute. We brought in somebody who's really, I would say, an intellectual equal of anyone. It's Mrs. Sharita Bent. How are you?
I'm wonderful.
And we brought in Mr. Brett Denton, all the way from Boise, Idaho. We shipped him in with a bunch of potatoes. He's a successful entrepreneur. Brett, for the people who don't know who you are, could you explain who you are and how they can get a hold of you?
Yeah, who I am. I'm a man. I own I own a fitness business, Cavell Fitness, and a performance coaching business where we help entrepreneurs, business owners, CEOs get a hold of their life and live at their peak.
And so if someone's listening right now, I mean, what kind of problems do you solve? I mean, what kind of issues, dilemmas do you help them solve in performance coaching?
Yeah, we solve issues where people can't get a hold of their life. They feel like their life is living them. Their business is living them. They don't have any family time. They don't have control of their health. They don't have control of their wealth. Those types of things are what we solve.
Well, quick reset. We're talking about Airbnb. These homies in 2007, they can't pay the rent, so they decide to rent out their house to 2 dudes and a lady. It goes so well, they end up living in a closet and renting their house to other people. They decide, hey, this could be a thing. They hire their former roommate, Nathan, to build out the site. He builds out the